Generic advice is one of the things that I never quite understood in my life. I understand the idea of appealing to masses, but I do believe that generic advice keeps people in the mindset that it's okay to not be better than what they already are. Not saying everybody needs to be a superstar, multi-millionaire, with 3 sports cars. But I am saying that everybody can always be better. And generic advice, I believe, really taps into the fact that some people maybe aren't succeeding as much as life. And you're really just extending this fake olive branch in the idea to please the masses for inflated numbers. Now today, I'm be covering a tweet that I saw on my For You page. And let me preference this very clearly. You can disagree with a statement somebody says without really disliking the person themselves. Quick example, if you don't quite understand what I said, IFC Yipes, everybody I believe in the FGC loves this man. Super nice man, great commentator. If IFC Yipes said, if you're not Diamond 1, you have no reason to play Street Fighter, I would be like, whoa, I don't agree with that, right? But that doesn't make me hate, doesn't make me overall hate him because he has just like a bad take. That makes sense. So here's the tweet. So you want to get better at Street Fighter. Ever gone 0-40 in a long set? Gone 0-2 without even getting around at the local? Sent your replays to someone for honest review? Dropped a new combo over and over before landing it? There is no shortcut. You have to win to lose. Now, on first glance, this, statement does seem correct, but there's a lot of flaws within this statement that unfortunately people who don't actually want to get better will see, right? So have you ever gone 0-40 in a long set? I believe that is the dumbest thing somebody could ever do ever, and this is my opinion. Now you can choose to agree with me or not. That's what an opinion is. If you're going 0-40, that shows that you're accepting loss without adapting to loss. I believe that you should always go in healthy increments of losing. 0-3, 0-5, 0-7, or 0-10. I think these 4 steps really let you set in on, damn, I'm really doing the same thing over and over and over, and my ass is losing. If you're going 0-40, not only are you not learning anything, if I beat somebody 40 times, I would be bored out of my mind. What am I doing beating a guy 40 times? Every 5 games, right? Realistically, what the guy who's winning 40 should do is stop the set, talk it out with the guy. Is it a matchup issue? Is it a mechanics issue? Where's the actual losing coming from? Is this guy not drive impacting heavy Ken Dragon Lash? Is he mashing on plus frames? Is he waking up parry and constantly getting throw loop? What is happening there? So when you say, have you ever gone to 0-40 in a long set? Somebody out there who doesn't really care about winning as much as, not as much as they should, because everybody, to each their own. I would say the only generic advice that is applicable is you should have fun. At the end of the day, this is a video game. But I believe, because I'm a human being, deep in my soul, I would rather look at a you win screen than a you lose screen 40 times, right? Ever go 0-2 without even getting around at your local? Now that's fair, right? 0-2, you got washed. You're like, damn, and then that could be motivation. Now, if you're going 0-2 every week, right, then there's probably a slight issue there on maybe you should take a break from tournaments and, practice a little bit, because clearly if you're relating to this, right, and this is what's important, if you're relating to this, it's because you felt bad during these moments, right? And this tweet is to capture the moment that you felt bad. Does that make sense? So it's the same as man, have you ever went to the gym and you can't bench 225? Well, it's all right, because not everybody can bench 225. You'll get there, champ. what I said is right, but it's so fucking generic. It's like, of course, right? And there's gonna be people who go to the gym who don't properly work out, properly diet, properly do anything, and they go like, oh yeah, you're right, I can't bench 225. Yeah, you're right, it doesn't. Like, these are things that we should know, personally. Now, this is the one that I agree with, right? Now, with everything, you can disagree with certain parts of a statement, but you can agree with certain parts of a statement. Setting your replays to someone for honest review. This is realistically why I started Scrubs to Dubs, a series where I'm brutally honest. Because if you're not brutally honest with people and you beat around the bush for the sake of being nice in the sense of somebody wants to get better, they're never going to get better. There's probably so many track and field, doctors, probably like any, professional profession where people like really chase a goal, and even jobs that are normal minimum wage, right? Obviously you got your retail workers out there who probably have a supervisor that was constructively tough on them to better them. Now, there are bad supervisors, and what are the bad supervisors in the FGC? Those are the people who beat people and immediately who beat people of a way lower rank than them and then say you're bad at the game. If I beat a gold, right, I'm 1800 MR, right? And then I stopped playing rank because I don't like the rank system of Street Fighter 6, right? But if I beat a gold player and then I go, haha, you're bad, that doesn't help the gold player get better. But if I fight somebody and I beat them and then they say, oh, that's crazy, like, what can I do? And I go like, oh, by the way, add standing medium kick into, light snatcher is fake. You can actually mash DI, right? Like, you should always give advice to better people, but you should never give bad advice to people who don't even like want advice. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? I only give advice to people who want advice. You should never give advice that's ill-willed per se, right? Drop the new combo over and over before landing it. I tell all of my viewers, if you want to learn a combo, you should do it 10 times in the training room without dropping it, and then go into a match and then just fish for it, right? Not only go for it, but if you're trying to go for the desync combo as Ed, right? A very common combo that Ed players should know. I say every Ed player should know the desync combo if you're going to play Ed. Right? Go into a, practice it, and we get into a match when your opponent wakes up DP, and then go for the desync combo over and over and over until it becomes repetitive, right? That's how you should really do it. Life, right? And then the last thing, there isn't a shortcut. You have to lose to win. Once again, this is not entirely true. It is kind of true. You don't necessarily have to lose to win, because how are you losing the win but you're going 0-40, right? How are you losing the win but you're going 0-2 every week, right? There's more than just losing the win. You have to understand why you lost. You have to understand what your opponent is doing. And, and I'm not a, how do you say it? I don't mind losing, right? I don't mind losing, especially in the Battle Hub. So, I mean, I'll show you some of my history games. And it's pretty funny, right? So here we are. We're against a Luke player, 16-20. He won one game. I won the next 5, right? 200, roughly 200 point skill difference. He won a game. MR doesn't matter. The reason I'm saying MR doesn't matter is because if you take a look down here, this is Dread Dragon. This is nothing on Dread Dragon. And then, once again, these are people I'm fighting in the Battle Hub. A lot of people think like, oh, Arroyo goes to Battle Hub for free wins. There's people higher MR than me in the Battle Hub that I fight. There's people that I would find in rank that I fight in the Battle. I think the Battle Hub is great because you get to fight people of all skill levels while not losing points. That's why I preach the Battle Hub. Go to the Battle Hub. Go to the Battle Hub. Trust me. Because also when you lose, you can then talk it out with your opponent on why you lost, right? So Dread Dragon, he won. I won one. He won one, and then I won the rest of the games. This guy's a higher MR than me. Realistically, I would have took his points, but the points don't matter. So I'm beating a guy that's 1831, right? Higher MR than me. I fought it, right? Here's a gold player. I won 3 games, and this is what I do, right? If I fight somebody in the Battle Hub and I can feel that they're not, maybe around my skill level, I'll always give them 3 games, right? And then if it really wasn't close, right, then I'll stop the 3 games and I'll say, GG brother, blah, blah, blah. See if they have any questions. If they don't, I move on with my life. Or what I'll do is I'll fight somebody who loses 3-0 and I'll see if they hit rematch, right? I want to test test their resolve. If you lose 3-0 and then you still click rematch, that shows me that deep down you're like, wait a second, I can win. Like, you didn't just like give up in the set, and that's something that I really am adamant about. But then I'll only go to 5, and if it's 5-0, I'll call the set, right? Because once again, at this point, you're not learning anything, and I'm not learning anything by beating somebody who's a lower rank, right? It doesn't make sense. I would much rather talk it out with you. And this is where it gets funny, right? Gold player, right? Now remember, I just beat a guy that was 1831. Platinum 1 beat me. Mowgli. Fighting this guy was such a blast because he did so many things to where, as when you get into the higher MRs, you're kind of like, not necessarily flow charting, but you're understanding matchups, you're understanding strong tools, you're understanding where to punish. When people are doing empty jump into DI, I'm never going to predict that, right? I'm never going to predict empty jump DI. I'm never going to predict when you have 6 bars and no meter and you're in the corner, wake up DI. I'm not, right? Like, that's things like I just don't register. And I like that because it shows me like, damn, I really was like, I'm going to beat this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then I got super sloppy. He won the game. Then I won a 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 game. Now it's 4-1. He won another game. 4-2. We ended 5-2. Right? Rank doesn't matter at the end of the day. I played sloppy, so I lost. Mowgli locked in for those 2 games, and he won. Because deep down, he probably knew that he could win. So I just personally just don't like the idea of generic advice just tapping in on the mindset of a losing mentality, right? I think that's very bad for the community. I think we should really stop doing stuff like that. I know other communities do it as well, but you know, I was watching Necros, you know, the vape guy on Marvel Rivals, crazy loss streak. This is somebody who's won above all, right? Ranked higher than most people, going on a fat losing streak, and then saying like, I'm unmotivated to play right today, because who wants to play after losing a lot? He's being real. If you lose a lot, you probably don't want to play as much. You want to win a few. So that's why you should never go 0-40. You should go 0-5, fight some other people, win some sets, get your confidence back, and then rematch that person. And maybe you'll go 2-5. And you stop, you go fight some other people, come back, maybe 4-5, or you look at your replays, you come back the next day, you'll see him in the Battle Hub again, like, that's the guy that beat me. I've lost to people, right? I've lost to people. In the Battle Hub. Like, it's not like an uncommon thing. I win a lot of sets, but I lose a couple. Like, where's it at? This guy, Black Ice, 19, cooked me 2 games. He 2-0'd me and then left. That was it. 2-0 left. And I said, damn. So if I ever see Black Ice 19 in the Battle Hub again, I'm gonna fucking sweat my ass off because I don't want to lose again. This individual, Math Boy, 6969. 18, 19, higher MR than me. I hit him with the Ed cross up in the corner after, you know, a heavy snatcher. I made a video about it. If not a video, I made a Twitter post about it where I talked to Brian F. Name drop. He didn't know about Ed's cross up in the corner. He didn't know that it existed. This is somebody who is a higher rank than me, technically. This is somebody, and this is no shot at Math Boy, somebody who has, you know, 600, 700 hours in the game that never saw a cross up, right? There's going to be certain tech that maybe you didn't know that other people don't do, and you should always lab it out, right? You should always lab it out. And my last thing that I really want to harp at is I always enjoy using my skill level to help other people, right? Me being good at fighting games personally doesn't really help me out the most. I'm not competing. I don't want to compete. I don't really like competing. If I were to get into the FGC professional scene, I would want to be a commentator. I just don't like the idea of competing. I don't like the idea of waiting for matches. I get fucking bored. It's like my own personal gripe. I would rather just help people get better to where they can make top 8 at a tournament, or even like win their locals. I mean, I have viewers who started watching me as bronze and now they're diamond rank. I have viewers who started watching me when they were plat and now they're getting top 8 at tournaments. So there's like this individual here, this guy I fought yesterday, Warren Kale, a plat 5 Cammy that I beat. We had a very good conversation. He didn't know that Cammy's level 3 could punish Edge Snatcher full screen. He didn't know that his hooligan slide is +2 on block. And then today I wake up and he sent me a friend request. So of course I'm going to accept it. Because if Warren Kale hits me up and says, hey Arroyo, can you give me some tips on my Cammy or watch my Cammy? I'll give him as much as I can to help him hit master rank. Up until then, realistically, it comes down to him learning matchups, learning frame data, understanding neutral. I can tell you what you're doing wrong, but it's up to you to fix on what you're doing wrong, right? And I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, guy, I know you lost me 3-0, but don't worry, you have to lose in order to win. That's not going to fucking help him. I'm going to tell him why did he lose and what he should do fucking better and what he should do to lab. I said, oh, you should practice this in training mode. I said, you should go for a hooligan. And if you have level 3, if you go for hooligan and IDI you can cancel hooligan into level, or not hooligan, spin knuckle. You can cancel spin knuckle into level 3 because you're realistically supposed to DI spin knuckles if Kami doesn't have level 3. The same how you're supposed to DI heavy dragon lash, supposed to DI heavy knuckle by Luke. There's certain moves in the game you're supposed to DI. I believe the game is designed that way. The reason why I know this is because if you ever look at a cheater, it doesn't matter who they fight. If they perfect parry every move and DI every block string that's fake, they're going to win the game. So why can't you do that? Why can't I do that, right? It's just a thing that we should all be practicing on. But that's enough for me rambling. If you agree with the video, comment down below. If you don't disagree, that's fine. Comment down below. Keep it same. And remember, this is nothing against the creator who made that comment. I get it, right? Views are always nice. I can sit here and probably post generic shit and be fine, but that's not me. I'm going to be true to who I am always. I'm going to be true to the people who watch me. If you're losing 0-40s because you're fucking bad, you're actually hit the lab, learn the matchup, learn the frame data, come back, and at least win one game. I don't give a fuck if I'm 1v1ing LeBron on the basketball court. My ass will fucking score a single basket. I don't fucking know how. If it's going to be a goddamn fucking Hail Mary, but I will score one basket on LeBron, right? You should never go, I lost 0-21 against LeBron. I guess I have to lose to win. No, you're going to lose constantly, right? So thank you everybody for tuning out. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, comment, comment, leave a like, and I'll see y'all again next time. See ya!